Greetings, everybody. Welcome to another awesome episode of the Powerful Nerdcast. Today's kind of a monumentous day because this is going to be the very first podcast that is on our brand new YouTube channel. No longer are we known as Super Kami Guru 9000. What are we, Christian?
AceGuru.
That's right, AceGuru. We've finally gone through a big rebranding of the YouTube channel, something that I've wanted to do for a really long time, in an effort not only to freshen things up, but also to create some brand new, high-quality content. And that's also going to include this podcast as well, which... We went on a long break without doing the podcast. I'm glad that we've been consistent about it for the last month, and we've also been doing video for every single one.
Yeah, you know, it was the easy way out just to do the audio, but I'm glad we're getting back to it. And the truth is, Corey, you've been wanting to do this forever, but for some reason we were all held back by it. But we were just sitting around. We're like, we need to do this. Let's just do it. And here we are, and we've done it. And now we're talking about it. Instead of planning, where it's now in the past and it's happened. So
honestly,
awesome.
it's still a little surreal that it's all actually launched today. We changed everything today, including the name of the channel, the brand new banner. We did a huge introduction to the brand new channel, which so far is actually getting a really warm reception from a lot of people, a lot of commenters that I haven't heard from in years.
Yeah, we've had quite a few people who were like regular commenters come back. And obviously they're still watching. They just don't comment as much anymore. Or at least that's my assumption. And we've been very lucky to have them back involved. Blue Sakuga came back and left a comment.
I know. Like, I haven't heard from Blue Sakuga in so long. Blue, if you're watching this, dude, like...
Good to have you back, brother.
It's good to have you back. I know that maybe... we could have parted on much better terms because you were so helpful with the old channel by always giving us information about the details of the episodes that we reviewed, the people who were producing them and directing them. But the fact of the matter is, somewhere down the line with our channel, we just sort of went on like autopilot, where we didn't have the opportunity to make things as high quality as they used to be. And
we got really busy in 2017.
Yeah, just things changed, and I basically was just, okay, here's the episode, watch it, here's my review, see you later.
Yeah, and I think we all knew, we were like, okay, well, we're on autopilot. We either stay on autopilot, or do we take a chance, rebrand, refresh, say, hey, we have to put out a big piece of content once a week, no questions asked. Let's see if we can do that. And let's pull back on some of the autopilot stuff and see if that helps. Mm-hmm. And I think we're up to it.
Yeah.
And also, we're going to get you a new camera at your house, because I think some people might have been confused that you were going to use this studio spot
and don't get me wrong, there are going to be instances where I use the studio space that's actually behind me, that we use as kind of a backdrop for some of the videos, especially when I do sort of wrap up the entire weekly anime review thing.
Yeah.
Because that means I'm not going to have to do
it like
at my
end
house
of a season review or something like that. Yeah.
There you go. I'd like to make them here in studio just to make them look better.
You know, the other thing I was thinking about on the ride over here, because I had some lunch meeting and now I'm back, but the other thing was that what about if you, like when the season launched, you talk about everything you thought looked interesting, maybe like you went one episode deep in a lot of different series, talked about them all, and then you came back at the end of the season and did a season review on the stuff that was actually good.
Yeah, kind of the before and after impressions.
That way we kind of catch the hype train on the new stuff, and then do a end of season recap.
Yeah.
You know, I think, but that way we're not like bogged down by all the episodes. Because, you know, I think we've all seen anime. There's not going to be less anime coming out now.
No, if anything, there's going to be more. Anime is more popular than it's ever been, especially in the West.
Yeah, absolutely.
I mean, it's just blown up in ways that I honestly didn't think it would ever get the way it was, like in the early 2000s during the Toonami days. But it's just it's a different world now. You know, nerds rule the world now, so we sort of like dictate a lot of what sort of content that we want to actually absorb. And I need to stress again, you know, a lot of things are still going to be similar. They're going to be better. That's really the big thing. And we're not even wasting any time. Today was sort of like the official launch of the channel. Tomorrow is going to be the release of the first official like major topic video that I worked on, and I've been working on it for like a couple days straight. It's fully scripted. It features a ton of actual anime footage.
Yeah.
As much as I know you guys want to stare at this beautiful...
Welcome copyright strikes. Here we come.
Yeah, cannot wait. And you know, it's just because I want the videos to look better. And a lot of the times when I'm trying to illustrate my point, me just being on camera or showing a screenshot doesn't do it justice. Being actually able to like show what I'm talking about is so helpful.
I also think the internet is a vain thing. They don't like, we're not young, attractive women. Let's just be honest. I'm not saying that's why people watch people. we're not dudes with abs and chiseled jawlines. So I feel like if we can get
for yourself.
If we can get away from us being the focus of the channel and get to like just our thoughts and opinions being the face of the channel and like let the content sort of speak through the visuals of the shows, I feel like we're just going to get a bigger viewership. And that's why we want a Patreon, because we're like, hey, if the fans can directly contribute to us of our content, then we don't have to rely on YouTube. If they copyright stuff and demonetize it, as long as they don't give us strikes, we're fine.
Yeah, and that seems to be, how things have been running on YouTube lately.
Yeah, even a lot of people pioneered that,
Yeah, even if you get a video that's like, hit with a copyright strike, they're going to be like, all right, but we're not going to take your video down. We're still going to allow you to
We're just going to give all the revenue to Funimation.
Yeah, it's like I did a video years ago. It was like a Pokemon video of some kind, and Nintendo's like, no, we're not going to let you make money off that. We're going to profit off of it, but because of that, we're still going to allow your video to be seen by people. Yeah. So that's kind of the benefit of what we're doing now. If we release these videos that have all of this footage attached to them, you guys can go to our Patreon and help us out. And I need to stress that a little goes a long way. You don't have to give a lot of money.
Honestly, we're expecting most people to do the $1 or $5 thing.
I mean, $1 contribution a month is absolutely nothing, and boy, would it be helping so much, allowing us to use better equipment, better cameras, better lighting, and it's just a great incentive to want to continue to make better content for you guys. So we highly implore you guys to check out our Patreon.
Or people in transition, whichever ones who are.
Yeah, it's 2019. Let's get real here, people. I don't care if you identify as a fucking helicopter.
Or a frog. I was just going random. Okay.
Anywho, but I don't want to spend too much time talking about AceGuru. If you guys want to learn a little bit more about the new channel. We've spent
a lot of time talking about it over the past 2 days.
That's pretty much, and I'm already almost sick of it.
Yeah.
But no, the point is, you guys, just check out the video that I just released today. It kind of gives you sort of the rundown of how we're going to be changing things.
Check out our Patreon page, and it has a video walking you through that. Mm-hmm. And what was the other video? Oh, we're going to release another video soon.
Yes. Like the first major video is going to be coming out in less than 24 hours. Tomorrow morning. It is one that I worked so hard on, so I really hope you guys check it out.
He was so hard on it.
Yeah. Jeez, man.
It's not even hard. It's just right there. I'm sorry.
You just love stopping everything dead in its tracks with your boner jokes, don't you?
Fuck yeah.
That's one of the many suggestions we've gotten, by the way. We need to curse less.
Oh, so should we listen to them, or should we not, Corey? Should we be us? Should we be true to who we are?
I'm conflicted. A part of me wants
to, you sheeple. Bah.
A part of me wants to curse all I want because, that's just, sometimes things slip out and that's who I am.
It's not that we curse a lot, but I feel like cursing sometimes can complement humor.
Yeah.
And it's not, and you don't want to use all your fucks at once. You don't want to go fuckity fuck, because then it doesn't have an impact.
Rated R.
But if you want to throw it out there once in a while, I think it enhances things. Yeah. But don't use all your fucks at once.
Yeah. I mean, we could always bleep it.
You go ahead and edit all that. I'm good. I'll drop one every 5 minutes.
I'm not sure how I'm going to handle that, but like I said, we've got a lot of really great suggestions from people of content that you guys want to see.
First of all, what kind of weird bubble world do you live in where you don't hear swears? I am sorry if I am pushing. Corey's the face of the channel. If you guys don't like my opinion, you're probably, if Corey likes what you want to do, then he'll be doing that. But for me, I don't know. I like being me, man. I like being me.
No, I like being me too. But again, I also want to make this channel for everyone. But again,
you're trying to please everyone? See how that goes, Corey.
We'll see. Jeez. Like I said, I'm not sure how I'm going to handle a lot of that, but I am taking all of your suggestions to heart. A lot of them sound really awesome.
That's true. I don't mean to shit on that guy or anyone's suggestion. We want to hear them. Even if we don't agree with them, this is a sovereign ground where you may speak your opinion and we will read them all.
Yeah, and like I said, there's just been so many really nice things. Like Emma JK said, I can see how happy you are. I really support you in this effort. Yeah, I'm really happy about this. It's a relief to finally do something new and something that genuinely gets me excited. There's another one from Treebeard saying, I've been around since the Naruto and Bleach days, and I'll keep coming back. Hope the rebranding works. I was wondering when this was coming. Obviously, we've been talking about this for a long time. It's a really big deal. Nostradamus.
Dude, I haven't talked to Nostradamus in a long time. Nostradamus, man. We used to Skype all the time back in the college days.
He said, hey, Corey and Christian, good luck with the rebranding. I've always enjoyed your guys' content, so I'm hyped to go ultra with the channel.
Oh, man. There we go.
Freaking My Hero Academia alive. I really love it. Gold member PB said, "This will always be Super Kamiguru to me." That is another thing that's a really big thing. Diverse content here. I already mentioned we're going to go beyond anime. One of the suggestions was that someone wanted us to do kind of like our Dragon Ball movie reviews, but do them with all of the MCU Marvel films.
And I'll be honest, that's what we need to do.
That sounds awesome,
got to do reviews on other... We've got to invest 1/4 the time that we invest in our anime stuff and put that towards any other pop culture genre. And I think the Marvel movies would probably be a good start. Also, I've never seen like Thor: Dark World because I've heard it sucks. So I'd kind of like love to like rip into that movie.
I would love to get your opinion, like your fresh hot take.
Like when Thor wasn't funny yet. Like that's kind of how I view it.
And the Dark World did try to take things a little too seriously. That's for sure.
Yeah. When what's her name, Natalie Portman, was still in it, I want to see all that. I want to see all that.
Yeah,
that's why those scenes look so new to me when we were watching Endgame, because it's like, oh, I've never seen Dark World, and that's where they're taking all this footage from. So, yeah, we'll see.
But I mean, people are clearly down for change. This other commenter by the name of Triojo, like the change. I feel that since Naruto ended, most of the YouTube anime community died. Then reviews for chapters like the Obito reveal was stuff I really loved sharing with you guys. Good luck going forward. I'm a casual manga fan, so more pop culture content will be great.
Yeah, look, the manga's great. Anime's big right now. Let's do some more pop culture content. I agree completely with that.
We have Son Goku 777 Christian ... crying emoji.
What does that mean?
They're glad to see you back, dude.
Here they saw my hand. Remember that when my hand came in?
I'm pretty excited to see that you guys, what you guys come up with. I remember those videos back in the day. Corey felt like the fanboy, and Christian felt like the critical straight man. Being a duo truly felt super original at the time. You had King of Lightning for Neverworld, Yokorama Manga Talk, or however you pronounce that.
Yokorama Game Talk.
Tekking, but then you had the dynamic duo.
That's right.
So,
man,
do we call you guys the Aces?
The Aces. Oh, before I answer that, what was our almost channel name that I liked that you ended up going with a different one?
I think we had Crimson Guru.
Crimson Guru. You guys tell Corey it was a better name, even though we've already
No! It was a cool name, and I really liked it, but I didn't want to go with the whole red-purplish color scheme. That's what Crimson's all about. And don't get me wrong, I love the term Crimson. It reminds me of my favorite band, King Crimson. It reminds me of the villain King Crimson from JoJo.
Yeah.
I like that stuff. I'm down with that stuff.
Anyway, we'll throw up the rebellion before you know it, and see if we can get that name changed. But the dynamic duo, man, taking it back to back in the day, we were a pretty original YouTube channel in the anime community. We were all like, everyone was under like 10,000 subs. It was a real different time back in 2010, 2011. We thought we had invented anime reviews because like we literally thought of the idea absent of anyone else influencing us. Like we were just talking about anime all the time. We're like, we should just sit down and record these conversations and put them on YouTube. And then I remember we were Skyping with Nostradamus, King of Lightning. Do you remember the Cloud Village? I
remember the Cloud Village.
The Cloud Village.
Those guys were hilarious.
That was fun. We were doing a lot of fun stuff. And essentially what happened is we all got normal jobs and graduated college and didn't have all the time anymore to do it. And I know For Neverworld's blown up a lot. What's the other guy? The For Never anime or no? Double 4 anime. He blew up. I remember when he was like a kid annoying everyone on Skype. Like all he would do is blow people up on Skype and annoy them. But man, that guy has had willpower and persistence.
We did an interview with him years ago.
Way back in the day.
Yeah.
And all he would talk about were the numbers because he loved YouTube. He was like, you guys got these many subscribers. You got this. And like, I remember how passionate that guy was way back in the day. So, who else was big back in the day? There was a bunch of people that were like,
I mean, there's a lot of people who are still around today, like King of Lightning is
King of Lightning is still doing great.
Still killing it.
Yeah. Like there's so many other people, man. If I saw their names, I'd remember them immediately, but it was so fun and we literally did it just for the fun of it back then, and now I feel like we still do it for the fun of it, but it's more like, hey, are we going to concentrate on growing this or not? And now we're taking those steps.
I do want to highlight just a couple more comments.
Please, they'll love it.
One guy who's definitely been, I think, one of the most loyal subscribers is Packers fan.
Hell yeah.
This guy is super cool. I talk to him on Twitter all the time. Just incredibly loyal and clearly loves anime like we do. He's like excited about the new content, Corey. After a while, change is a good thing. I will miss Super Kamiguru 9000. You're one of the few anime channels I've stuck with since the beginning. And Packers fan, dude, you're freaking awesome. Thank you for continuing to watch all of our content and be sort of like basically one of our ultimate fans, if not biggest.
Essentially, we've grown up with some of these people.
Yeah, which is it's kind of crazy to actually.
We're going near a decade knowing some of you, so it's pretty awesome.
We have a Lord Moddib. It's kind of strange. By the way, work with me on some of these names, guys. Honestly speaking, I don't understand why your channel didn't really take off. Of all the weekly anime reviewers, you're one of the few that really focuses on each aspect of the material. I see other channels with sloppy content and lazy reviews having more success in this. Good luck on the new beginning.
I have theories about that. Do you mind if we get into that for a few seconds?
By all means.
I think that they are just like hype beasts. That's what I'll call it. Like the guys that just like scream at the camera and they change their angles really fast and stuff like that. And also some of them are like younger, prettier people. And I think that I literally think YouTube's vain like that. Like more people watch.
I think I'm a sexy beast.
It's not that you're not sexy. I just think we need to get the content to be the focus and not us be the face of the channel. Yeah. And that's one of the main reasons. One, we have that new cartoon version of you that we had created by an artist. Yeah. And we have like 8 expressions of you doing that.
And those are going to be pretty much used for the thumbnails of the videos.
And maybe like the end tags where we kind of do the outros.
Yeah. I don't want to do a whole video of just...
What is the definition of those videos where people
Avatar-styled videos.
Avatar-styled videos?
Yeah.
We don't want to make those.
We don't want to make those, but they might be like, like you said, for the ending, the call to like action part of a video.
Yeah. And whose comment did you just read again? Was that Packers fan?
That was indeed Packers fan.
I mean, there you go. You get another thank you. Thank you, brother.
Here's one that I think you'll find funny. This is from Figdigs or FGDGS. Best memory was the Naruto manga reviews with Christian talking about Sharingan eyes and either mistakenly calling them Bakugan or jokingly, but it was the funniest shit ever.
Dude, pronunciation. Here's the inside
pronunciation.
Anyway, here we go, guys. I am severely dyslexic. So when you have me try to learn a name, plus it's a name from another language, it's a guessing game for me. So making fun of my pronunciation is easy, and I'm glad you guys enjoy it because it's not getting any better because I'm in my 30s, and that's kind of who I am at this point. So Bakugan or Akatsuki or Uzumaki, whatever it's going to be, it is what it is. I mean, honestly, I am so scared to pronounce names sometimes. I just refer to people as their appearance because it's just easier. I'm like, it's the cat guy. It's the puppet dude. It's the bitch that's old but fakes it because she's got the jutsu that makes her look hot. It's like, I don't know. I just don't know everyone's name, and it's scary to pronounce them wrong sometimes on the internet. You know that, Corey. You get called out for that all the time.
Dude, all the time. Even though I'm someone who's like really hardcore into anime, just when it comes to the pronunciation of names, it's still tough, man. Yeah. Like, the fact of the matter is I speak English, and I don't even speak that all that well, so it's tough when you go into a foreign language.
How many times have you been recognized in public?
A few times.
Like under 10, but like a few.
More than that, actually.
More than 10.
Yeah, it's almost always at conventions.
Yeah.
But there have been a few times outside of it where it's been a little strange.
Like
but otherwise,
movie theaters were a thing. Because you get a lot of the same pop culture friend people.
And I take it really well. It's fine. But I'm not like, getting bum roughs like by like the Beatles or something.
Well, you're not The Rock.
No.
You might be.
Yet.
People trying to take upskirt photos of you or anything?
Nothing like that yet.
One day, Corey.
Yeah, but we also have Zack Attack 15419. Love the new name. I'll miss the old one, but the new one will be much better in the long term. Can't wait to see the new videos in the future. We also have this one, which I really loved, from Jade Stewart, saying, I love the dandy-esque jacket on the logo. Damn. First, I just want to say, someone noticed.
Ooh, that's great.
Which is awesome. The logo of me is, I'm actually wearing Space Dandy's jacket, and that's because I love Space Dandy. And I think that's going to be one of the coolest things about going forward with the channel is since I have more freedom to talk what I want to talk about, I definitely want to do eventually like a couple of Space Dandy videos. Not just like a review of the series, but talking a little bit. Well, we
can start there.
We can start there, but like talking a little bit more about some of the deeper aspects of the series, because while it is very silly on the outside, it's a surprisingly thought-provoking show, and I'd still wager to say in my top 10 favorite anime.
I think you could do a deep dive on certain episodes. It's not even like you could review the episode, like the one where they get stuck, the Groundhog Day episode where they get stuck in time on Meowth's or Meow Meow Meow's planet. I still love the names of that show. That show is like good writing, like Rick and Morty, but not as crass and funny. It's a funny show, but it's like the writing is to me on par with like Rick and Morty.
So far, like I said, I think the reception to the new channel has been really awesome. You guys have been very supportive about that. That was my biggest fear, was this changing the channel was just going to scare everyone. And it was funny too, because like the first comment that popped
was
up
kind of a
was
negative
like,
one.
I liked Super Kami Guru 9000 better. And that was like, oh God, it's already begun.
Oh no!
But after that, a lot of positive. But again, like I said, not everybody's going to love the new name, and you're totally entitled to your opinion on that stuff, even though we all know AceGuru sounds so much cooler.
Well, I think the main thing is AceGuru is simpler.
Yeah.
I can tell someone AceGuru before I had to say Super Kami Guru 9000 and not Kami like communist, Kami like the Japanese word Kami, which means God, and 9000 is a reference to Dragon Ball, and the name is a reference to a parody of Dragon Ball that came out 4 years ago or whatever years ago.
Yeah, longer than that.
Yeah.
We don't have to say that anymore. What's your YouTube channel name? AceGuru. Oh, that sounds really cool.
I could look that up right now.
Exactly. End of story, shorter and to the point.
Yes.
So yeah.
I had to grab people's phones and type it in for them.
Yeah, and whenever you have to do that, it's kind of embarrassing and strange.
Yeah.
And now I'm not going to have any sort of like embarrassment when it comes to telling people about the name of my channel.
No.
Basically.
It wasn't embarrassment. It was just way...
It's just too much.
If I can't tell you in an elevator, it's taking too long.
Yeah.
And now we can.
Yeah.
I'm excited.
Yes. So... Again, we just wanted to address all the big changes coming with the new channel. Like I said, check out the new video we just released giving you all the details. And, of course, stay tuned for the channel for lots of great new content coming down the pipeline. Some of the changes are going to be a little slow as we're coming in, especially once I wrap up this anime season. But right after that, things are really going to kick into high gear. And like I said, please stay tuned. There's going to be at least one good, super high-quality video coming out every single week. So now let's get back into what built this channel, Dragon Ball. In particular, Dragon Ball Super. It's been a long month waiting for this chapter, but we finally got back to the big match
and a lot happened.
Moro and Majin Buu.
A lot happened.
A lot happened. First, what did you think of the battle between Buu and Moro?
Great. It's good to see Buu be a freaky, powerful demon monster again, because at the end of the day, he essentially just didn't feel like messing everyone up, because he still sort of could for the most part. It was pretty much, Buu was like one of the strongest characters on the planet still to this day. He was at Super Saiyan 3 levels maybe?
At least by Super Saiyan 3 at that point.
And especially if he's been training and he's got a little more powerful. But maybe not actually, because this Buu was this good essence sucked out and was less powerful than the evil. I'm not going to get into the Buu power levels. Never mind. Yeah. I'm not going to get into that.
We're not going to do it. Put your scouter down.
Yeah. So the battle was great. Buu shows he is a terrifying dude. If you can get his simple mind focused on something, it is pretty terrifying.
It also helps that his consciousness is now sort of like melded with that Kai now. So that's actually not only made him more powerful, but a much more competent and smarter fighter. And what I really love about Buu is that they sort of evolved his abilities in this battle a little bit more. He did things that we've never actually seen before. Like, even though we know that he can regenerate parts of his body, I didn't know that he could regenerate parts of his body anywhere that he wanted. So, like there's that one scene where Moro blasts his head off with, like, a huge ki blast, and then suddenly he's able to make the head pop out, like, on his fist. Like, that was a great moment to catch Moro by surprise, and then he just pummeled him, and he's able to separate all of his fists now from his body that can sort of independently attack someone while his other body moves away.
Yeah, it's interesting.
That was really freaking cool and very creative. And the more I see of that stuff, I'm like, damn, I just really want to see this animated.
Yeah, I do too. But really, it's funny. You said a lot happened in this chapter, and in some ways, a lot did happen because it was an intense fight with many moments of it. But really, not that much actually happened. If you think they just fought, and then Moro got his wish.
Yeah, but the circumstances behind why Moro got his wish are a little strange, because during the battle between Majin Buu and Moro, suddenly the skies darken, and someone realizes that someone has summoned Porunga, the Namekian dragon, and it's none other than
Dragon Gains,
the rock dragon.
Yeah.
And Cranberry, who used to be one of the goons of Frieza, he's the one who actually summoned the dragon, and stupidly makes some of the dumbest wishes that I have ever heard. His first wish was he wants to be healed.
Yeah.
Like, what a dumb thing to actually waste a wish on.
Well, he was almost dead.
Yeah, I know, but like, come on. We know that in this universe they have these these crazy space pods you can jump into like a freaking hot tub and you're going to be fine.
That's true.
Like, did he really need to waste, like, this giant mystical wish on something so stupid? He could have wished to become a god of destruction and nothing could have stopped him.
That's true. It could have been that. Also, I feel like it was just a filler wish because they only needed the two, really. The hidden wish and then the give him full power wish.
Yes, which after he does his first wish, Moro gets really pissed off and he starts communicating with Cranberry saying, look, you little asshole, if you do not make the second wish to make me stronger, I will hunt you down to the ends of the universe. So Cranberry ends up giving Moro all of his power back. So that didn't take long. And then he goes and he just kills Cranberry, doing what he usually does, which is just stabbing someone.
A bastard, yeah.
Yeah. And,
well, they want this character not to have a good side. No. They are hardcore pushing that, like, even in One Punch Man, who's the new bad guy with the white hair?
Orochi.
Not Orochi, the Goro?
Garo.
Garo?
The hero hunter.
The hero hunter, he is actually, and I'm not going into the thing, but I'm not going too far into the manga, like, he doesn't like hurting kids. And so, like, they make a point to show him not being 100% evil.
Yeah.
It's just like a hero must have fucking kicked dirt in his face when he was a kid or something, and now he has this weird grudge. But he's not actually, like, an evil dude because he doesn't like hurting kids. Like, he has friends that are kids.
He has some sort of moral compass.
Yeah, but Moro, he's just like, I'm evil. Yeah. He's like Frieza, but without the depth yet.
Pretty much, yeah. There still needs to be a lot more about the character.
And I'm talking old Frieza, not new modern Frieza.
Not new modern, I'm kind of evil Frieza.
I'm comic relief Frieza.
I mean, Moro kind of comes across as kind of like, Frieza mixed with like a Power Ranger villain.
Yeah, that's a good way to put it.
That's kind of the vibe that I get from him. But yeah, he's despicable. He's incredibly evil and going to go to...
He's serious.
Yeah, he's willing to go to crazy lengths in order to get his power, and he does. Mm-hmm. But the thing that everybody's talking about in this chapter is not the fight, not Cranberry getting killed, but the big final mysterious wish that Moro actually got. And man, what a great J.J. Abrams way of tricking people into continue to read this
Smoke
manga.
Monster.
By showing that small little Namekian asking for the wish in the Namekian language that no one knows how to decipher, so we have no idea what Moro's actual wish is, and he suddenly just disappears without telling anybody what it could possibly be. When
now,
Vegeta
was the
asks,
wish to transfer him somewhere?
That's hard to say. I would like to think that Moro has the magical ability to probably teleport to places.
Okay.
Maybe not unlike instant transmission, but I mean, he's magical. He can, disappear in a poof of smoke.
Yeah, that's true.
Like freaking Tim the Wizard. It could potentially happen. Yeah. But, like, that's the thing everybody's talking about. Like, what did he wish for? And Vegeta even asks him, he's like, what did you wish for? And the only thing Moro said was, you'll find out. And then, boom, he just disappears from there. Possibly to consume the entire planet. But everybody has their personal theory. One of the biggest that I've seen so far is that Moro wished to not allow Majin Buu mixed with the Kaioshin to be able to use his sealing magic on him anymore. I don't think he's actually going to do anything like that. It seems a little too simple. Maybe that could be what it is because he's going to allow him to try that on him and he's going to show that it doesn't work anymore. But, I mean, there's still tons of other techniques in this series which allow our characters to steal people away. We've already mentioned the Mafuba many times.
Mafuba, the magical
rice. And it could very well work on Moro. There's no reason why it wouldn't.
No, there is no reason why it wouldn't. Because it's an unbreakable technique, essentially. I haven't seen anyone... They can't power up through it.
Exactly. Another theory is, of course, that he went for the tried and true immortality wish, which could happen.
I think it most likely has something to do with Boo, because Boo was just kicking his ass. Mm-hmm. So it would seem like it's probably like, oh, let me deal with that. Mm-hmm. Also, it could be not allowing Goddess of Destructions to intervene with anything he does.
It's possible. Now, again, we also have to remember he's making a wish with Purunga, so it's, Purunga's a pretty powerful dragon.
Oh, yeah, he may not be that powerful.
Yeah,
though.
So there have to be some limits to what he wished for, but he still had to wish for something that's going to give him some sort of massive advantage, but still within that dragon's power. And being able to come up with an idea of what that is honestly kind of confusing me at the moment, but I'll be damned if it didn't make me yell after reading the end of that, because I was like, no, they're not going to withhold this, are they? Son of a bitch! We're going to have to wait a month just to figure out what the hell this guy gets, and even that's not a guarantee. They could be building this arc up even more, which, to be honest with you, I'm happy. I almost thought that this arc was going to wrap up really quick, and even though this is just the manga version and not the anime, this is probably my favorite original arc from Dragon Ball Super so far.
Yeah, because everything's established now. We don't have to establish new power levels. Goku got a new technique already, along with his God technique. Like Vegeta's there, but they're not the most powerful things. But they're established and stable characters. They're not about to get some new crazy power up. And Tournament Power Arc was everything you wanted. It was everyone got to fight and stuff, and it was epic. But I think the next thing that needs to happen is this mystical journey they're on now. And most likely this next few chapters of this arc is going to be them game planning to stop what's going on.
Yeah.
And that's okay, because then we'll get the last fight, or at least the next big confrontation, which we'll see what that is. I think they're probably, if I was Goku and Vegeta, I would go see Beerus next and be like, where the fuck were you? What's going on?
He's chilling out, man.
Yeah.
He don't give a shit.
He don't give a shit.
But I mean, the feeling that I'm getting from this arc, it really feels like a Dragon Ball arc, if that means anything.
Yeah, it feels more like it's really, things are at risk, and it's not just a fun fight that if you lose, you die.
Yeah, and that's not to say that there weren't arcs like that in Dragon Ball Super in the anime version. Of course, I'm not going to count the smaller fillerish-esque arcs, but I mean, the Future Trunks arc was interesting in a sense that they were clearly trying to do something a little different. They had time travel involved. They had multiple villains that came from the same body from multiple universes. All that stuff was
multiverse.
All that stuff was well and good. But I don't know what it is about Moro, but he's just really intriguing me as a villain. And that's a huge accomplishment because when they first introduced the character, I wasn't all that impressed. But every single chapter that gets him released, I'm like, wow, this guy is already going down as a classic Dragon Ball villain.
No, it is cool. He's definitely original, and the evil goat dude is doing good. I'm excited about it.
Yeah, I can't wait to see what's going to happen next. This could end up being a really long arc. A lot of people theorized it'd be short, but I'm willing to see how far they're going to take this. And with the reintroduction of the character Broly, wouldn't it be really cool to bring him into this arc somehow?
It would, but I don't see the point because he's not powerful in a different way than Goku and Vegeta. And they just rebuilt Buu, so why introduce another character?
It would maybe be a little too much. And
we haven't even talked about the part that Buu is now a median for the Kaioshin to come back.
Oh, we didn't even mention too. We already know that it's like a combination of their two different personalities, but that Kaioshin is sort of taken over at this point.
Yeah, they straight up say it's Naruto's Kurama is talking through Naruto.
Yeah, but I mean, even physically, he basically looks like that classic form. He does reaffirm that this is not permanent. Buu will eventually return, and that is the way that I would like it to be. But it is interesting that this is actually happening now.
Yeah, it's kind of interesting. And that Kaioshin is going to be a cool new character.
Yeah.
Because we have not had a powerful Kaioshin kind of ever.
Well, I mean, Zamasu.
Yeah, okay, good point. But the first time we were introduced to a Kaioshin was the Buu arc.
Yeah.
And he was already...
Kibito?
Well, he was already surpassed by Super Saiyan 2 Gohan. He was already blown away by how... No, I'm talking about the little one. What was the little one?
I was saying Kibito. That's his attendant, the red guy.
Was he a Kaioshin? He was a demon.
No. I'm talking... You remember I don't know why his name is escaping me right now. The Grand Kai when they introduced...
Yeah, the Grand Kai. But
the purple one.
Yeah, the Grand Kai.
The one who's connected to Beerus. But he has that attendant, the big red dude with the white hair.
Yeah.
And they got fused together for a long time until they got the Dragon Balls back. Which they also got from Porunga.
Oh, they did?
Yeah.
That's where they went to do that?
Yeah, that was their explanation. They went to Namek and they used that. So I guess we also have to assume this takes place at least a year after that event.
That's true.
Yeah. Either that or the author just did not care and just really wanted to get into this next story.
Yeah. But I'm excited that we're getting two interesting new characters. We got the new bad guy and we got the new good guy. And it's exciting because all that stuff was just lore. It wasn't actually interesting characters that we got to spend any time with. So it'll be interesting to see how that comes.
Do you think that Frieza could get involved in any of this?
No, because again, Frieza's not differently powerful than Goku and Vegeta are. We don't need more traditional fighters that are strong.
Yeah, but how is Frieza going to react to some big brand new villain who's wanting to take over the entire galaxy that he wants to rule personally?
No idea.
No idea?
I don't think Frieza's going to be
You don't think Frieza's going to be involved?
Nope. Don't think so.
Yeah, I'm still interested to see what they're going to do with Frieza. But again, you're right. They need to be more focused in the story that they're trying to tell here. And only time will tell how it's actually going to play out. But I'm really excited for it. And there was a time when Dragon Ball Super, the manga version, wasn't really doing anything for me. But now it's the one manga I look forward to the most every single month.
I always think that the Dragon Ball Super manga gives you something that the show doesn't give you. But I've really, in the last 2 years, come to appreciate manga way more than I used to. Because the detail they can put into it is lost, a.k.a. One Punch Man Season 2. often.
Yeah.
And it really upsets me.
I know it does, because you do read the One Punch Man manga.
And it's so good, dude. Kid Emperor versus Phoenix Man is one of the coolest fights. And they could reduce that shit down to one episode, and it would just extremely... Like, it might make me stop watching the show.
Yeah.
When Phoenix Man and Kid Emperor have their fight.
I mean, and I try not to let that influence my reviews too much. Like, I remember last week we were in Charlotte.
I'm visibly pissed about this, because it is not that they're not doing that manga justice, and it's one of the most beautiful mangas I've ever seen, and beautiful battle mangas I've ever seen, and the scaling is done well. The epicness of the hits and the techniques, because every hero is so different, is all so well represented. And then, like you said, this season 2 has been all like beams of light getting thrown and like pushing in on still images and proportions being wrong.
The characters aren't moving, the backgrounds are.
Yeah, and I'm like, man, you guys are really... Like, don't get me wrong, because the writing's still good.
Yeah.
It is One Punch Man. It is that show.
That's really the one thing that's keeping me going through this second season is the story.
But man, like, it's not as good of action. It's just, like, I want Studio Trigger to get in there and save this so bad.
Yeah, that would be awesome. I mean, they always do great work.
Just make it neon-y, throw some mechs in, do what you got to do. But
just throw in those typical Studio Trigger mechs. Do whatever it takes to make it possible. And the thing is, One Punch Man has mechs in it too. It's got like, the what is it, Drive Knight?
And the other guy.
And the big, the robot man, I forgot his name. He kind of reminds me of Iron Man a little bit. Metal Knight.
Metal Knight?
Yeah, you have Metal Knight and Drive Knight.
Meta Knight?
Meta Knight.
Oh, that's a different one.
And I loved Drive Knight in the most recent episode. I thought he looked really awesome. I wish they could have done more with his character.
Yeah.
But I agree. Yeah, I mean, it's kind of a disappointing season.
I'm telling you, Corey, I know you don't want to get spoiled, but after you watch episodes, you need to go back and read them.
I'll tell you this much. Before season 2 of One Punch Man, I was like, no manga for me. But after being pretty let down by this second season, once it wraps, I'm reading the One Punch Man manga.
And guess what? It might take you longer to read the One Punch Man manga than it would to watch all these episodes, because that's how much content is there.
Well, I mean, you can sit there and you can appreciate the artwork a little more.
There's going to be a fight coming up soon.
Yeah.
That has to do with the martial arts tournament.
Yeah.
And some monsters get involved, and that's as far as I'm going to go.
Oh, okay.
And
I mean, the tournament ended, so I'm guessing the monsters are going to invade.
Yeah, exactly.
And then
that was one of the coolest fights I've
What
ever.
is it going to be, Saitama just like wiping them all out, or the
No,
other
he
martial
runs
artists?
away because he got caught.
Oh yeah. Oh. So that means we're going to see like.
Have to.
Oh, does that mean we're going to see like that one character Bakuzan? Who Saitama beat, like the tall hairy guy who got beat. Like we're gonna see him fight.
Yeah, everyone's gonna fight.
Even Suiryu,
the
martial artist,
finally gets involved with monsters.
Oh, that's gonna be cool.
So what I'm saying,
so there might actually be payoff for some of these things that never got to work in the tournament,
or they'll shove it all into half an episode and ruin it. So what I'm saying
anything's possible.
It just upsets me so much, because it's like the only manga that I really get excited about. That and like 1 out of 10 of One Piece mangas.
Yeah.
Because most of the time that's not good either. But I'm saying like that's the only manga I get excited about when it comes out. And now like every time, I hate that I don't want to watch the show.
I know. It sucks too, because I used to like, I remember season 1 of One Punch Man, like, episode's out. It was like an event.
Dude, when
like,
Boros, that was a great fucking...
And that's the thing. That's just one of the amazing scenes. Sea King was incredible. I thought the battle from the first couple episodes were all awesome.
Yeah.
Genos versus Saitama training was incredible.
Evolution House of Evolution.
The House of Evolution against the big giant bug man.
Yeah.
The fight's freaking incredible.
But what I'm saying is, like, I lost my point. But the point that I will make now that I'm trying to make a new one, is it doesn't actually bother me that Saitama doesn't get animated well, because he's honestly this weird deadpan character that doesn't have to be drawn well. Mm-hmm. It's literally everyone else isn't getting drawn correctly, and that's not getting done well. That's the biggest problem.
And a lot of it is like it's common shit. It's like disproportionate looking characters. Like there's a shot from the most recent episode of Suiryu, which has already become legendary, like practically overnight. His body is gigantic and super boxy. He looks like freaking Ben Swallow from freaking the Last Jedi, and his head is so small. And then the next shot, he looks normal. It's little things like that they can't even get right.
The real thing is Saitama's fights are awesome, right? When he tries, especially. Yeah. But the main problem is the side character fights are the actual, like...
That's the real... what you go for.
That's the actual fights. The fights of One Punch Man is when the common people fight that are of equal strength, and there's a true struggle.
Because all Saitama fights are the same. I'm sure even in the manga they look awesome, just the big epic boom explosive punch.
Yeah, like you get that cool serious
But
face.
you're not going to get pages of an epic battle.
You don't get, well, maybe you get pages of the bad guy thinking he's beating Saitama as he whacks him around.
Yeah, possibly.
But that's that. You know, it's just sort of like really the point that they're probably saving their budget for a big Saitama battle at the end is wrong.
Yeah.
That's not where the money should be going. It should be going to the side characters getting awesome side fights, because that's where all the action is.
Yeah, and like you said, they're rushing through it, like that one scene with Atomic Samurai.
Oh my god,
you're like, that was pages.
That was pages.
Like half a chapter in the manga version, and here they get through it in like 2 minutes.
I may be wrong, but I could have swore it was a whole chapter, maybe even a chapter and a half.
Oh wow!
And they burnt through it on a back end like 2 minutes, and I was like, and it was so damn dark. Every character was super well designed. The anticipation, as that guy was saying, like, you should join the monster, was incredible. And they just shoved it into 2 or 3 minutes. And then, God damn it. I just don't even know what to say, guys. I'm very upset by season 2. Yeah. But the writing is still good. It's still the show. It's just the animation is, I don't know. And so I don't really know how to, I don't want to tell people not to watch it because the writing's still good. Like, I still think Bill Burr would still say something about this show if he saw season 2.
He's not the type of guy who would notice
that's the thing.
Intricacies of the animation.
Yeah.
But yeah, like I said, I notice it every time we watch it. Like last week we were on business in Charlotte, and we were watching it on the computer, and I could just hear you behind me just like, oh my God, this is so terrible. And just, I can feel your pain. I really do.
And I'm not an animation snob.
Yeah.
But when you have a great fight and then you cheapen it to get it done, it really upsets me. So, because I'm a action star or action fan, you know?
So it's a shame. The wait for One Punch Man wasn't necessarily worth it.
Maybe season 3 would be better. Fire this studio. Try again, guys. Keep trying. Keep trying.
Give it to someone else.
Yeah.
At this point. JC Staff is just not cutting it. It's being saved by its story, but boy, that animation just is bad. So we're going to go ahead and end the podcast today with one more discussion about something that might also be kind of divisive, but it's something that means a lot to us because it's a sequel to a movie franchise that we've loved for a really long time, and one that's definitely had its ups and downs, and it's none other than the brand new entry in the Terminator series, Terminator Dark Fate. This is going to be kind of an interesting Terminator film as it's completely disregarding all of the sequels, which means we're pretty much going to completely forget that Terminator 3, Genesis, and the other one that's name I can't even think of didn't even happen. I think Salvation was what it was called.
Oh, yeah, Salvation.
So, yeah, they're pretty much going to ignore all those, and this is going to be sort of like a direct sequel to Terminator 2. In fact, the premise of the movie is more than 2 decades after the events of Terminator 2, Sarah Connor sets out to protect a young woman named Danny Ramos and her friends as a liquid metal Terminator, Rev 9, that's the name of it, is sent from the future and attempts to terminate them. The premise is pretty much the same shit that we've seen multiple times. A Terminator comes from the future to try and stop someone that could potentially be a threat to them in the future in Skynet. But the biggest gimmick of this film, of course, is that it's actually bringing back Linda Hamilton as Sarah Connor. Arnold Schwarzenegger is going to be returning either as a Terminator or as the human that the Terminators are based on.
Essentially, yeah.
That's the thing that everybody's trying to debate about this trailer, because most of the trailer is actually all of the brand new characters in Sarah Connor, and of course the brand new Terminator, which is,
there's 2 brand new Terminators.
There are going to be 2 brand new Terminators,
and I don't mean the bad guy is 2 different people. I mean there's the good guy Terminator.
There's a female Terminator, who seems to again be there to protect someone, and she claims to not know she's a Terminator or doesn't believe she's a Terminator,
or she thinks she's mostly human with Terminator accessories.
Yeah, it's very similar to that one character in
Salvation.
In Salvation, yeah. But then you have the new evil Terminator, Rev 9, I believe is what it is. Or maybe that's the female one. Is he an Asian guy?
He's like
I'm not sure who he is or who's being played by, but the whole gimmick of him is that he seems to be like an exoskeleton that also has liquid metal over him that can sort of transform into human skin. So it's kind of like a combination of like a T-800 and the T-1000 in some senses.
Yeah, and it's kind of a cool idea. Instead of make a new Terminator robot that's just some cooler, badass skeleton, it's the idea of it's 2 different Terminators on top of each other, essentially. So we can split into 2 different units. It's like one is just the liquid metal, and then one is just the badass robot, and then they combined, and they're like one they're one thing.
Yeah.
So it's kind of cool.
All right, so here we go. I got a little more information about this. Like I said, Linda Hamilton returning as Sarah Connor. Don't know where John Connor is. This is supposed to be the sequel to Terminator 2, so I don't know what they're doing with that character, if he's in hiding or if they tried to make the bold decision to kill that character off even though he's instrumental to the future. I don't know what the deal is with that.
Me either.
And I don't think they're bringing Edward Furlong back anytime soon. Have you seen him lately?
No, I have no idea.
Yeah, he's definitely got a beer gut from hell. Let's just say that.
Oh, really?
Oh, yeah.
Well, what about if they bring back Donkey Lips? Or what's his name?
Donkey Lips? You mean Budnick?
Yeah, Budnick.
Who was for people who do not know what we're talking about.
Budnick.
The Budnick from Salute Your Shorts, one of the best shows on Nickelodeon back in the day. People probably don't know.
I don't think it's that great. I think you're just rose-colored glasses.
It is rose-colored glasses.
Okay.
But it says here Arnold Schwarzenegger as the T-800 Model 101, an aging Terminator recruited by Sarah to help protect Danny. So apparently he is a T-100 that's aging. But I mean, that makes sense. The skin that they have on them says it's meant to replicate humans. It's supposed to age and change.
But is he like a robot that doesn't work real well now?
Interesting. They barely show him, if at all. And it's basically, I think, a shot of Sarah Connor opening the door and seeing Arnold there.
I think you said it. It's a little bit of a girl power movie.
Mm-hmm.
And I think there's nothing wrong with that. It's just, it seems like they're pushing, hey, females are strong. We got female Terminator protecting a little girl, and you got Sarah Connor. And so it's very like female power movie in certain ways, which I don't really mind. And here's the thing that I really liked about it. It felt like a Terminator movie when I watched the trailer.
The only thing that was missing was maybe the theme.
Which I'm sure will be in there.
It better be. But I have a little more information about some of these Terminators and these other characters. First and foremost, we have...
Who's playing the bad one?
It's Gabriel Luna.
Don't know.
And he's playing the one that's known as Rev 9. He's going to be that one that's the liquid metal kind of styled Terminator. And let me try and bring this back up. Gabriel Luna as Rev 9, which I loved the way that he actually did look in the trailer. I love that one shot where he's in the car and the liquid is coming out from his body, creating a whole separate form altogether. It's almost like he can separate into two separate entities. It says a T-1000, an advanced and updated liquid metal Terminator with the ability to split into two separate units, an endoskeleton in a liquid metal form. So he's like two Terminators in one.
Yeah, that made sense. I got that from the trailer.
Which is honestly kind of freaking cool. I do like that. We also have Mackenzie Davis, who's going to be, I think, one of the big new female leads as Grace, a soldier, assassin, human-machine hybrid sent from the future who's there to protect Danny Ramos from the new advanced Terminator prototype.
Is she the chick from... What is she from?
Let's see right now. Mackenzie Davis.
Is she the one from that Hunger Games type movie that never got anywhere and they canceled it halfway through?
Well,
Revenant?
she's about our age, and she's been in a few movies like Breathe In, The Awkward Moment, The Martian, Blade Runner 2049.
Oh, okay, I saw that.
And The F Word. She's also starred in the TV series *Halt and Catch Fire*. So kind of an up-and-comer in terms of making the scene on Hollywood. But aside from that, we also have the young girl, Danny, who is Natalia Reyes, and she's another Terminator. She's a young woman who's a hybrid of a Terminator and a human targeted for termination by the new Terminator. So there are a lot of Terminators in this movie.
Holy shit, they are terminating
us out. The only one of the main cast that's not is Sarah Connor, unless they're going to do some twist at the end where she really is a Terminator.
She does have the biggest guns, though, so I guess that helps.
Yeah, and I mean, that scene was pretty classic Sarah Connor at the end where she comes up in her car and then she just jumps out with a giant...
Takes out that semi-auto shotgun.
And just boom, blows the Terminator away with like a giant rocket launcher and everything. Yep. Like, she is prepared. She knows what's going on. And fun fact, we just mentioned John Connor. According to this, there is an actor who's going to be playing him named Jude Colley, but there's no information about the actor, and it says the son of Sarah Connor, who is destined to save humanity years in the future from an apocalyptic war against the machines as the leader of the Resistance. Colley serves as the body double for a younger John Connor, with Edward Furlong's 1991 facial likeness being applied through the use of CGI.
Oh.
So they're bringing an actor who they're actually going to use Edward Furlong's facial features from T2 and apply it to this character.
That makes sense. They're really good at that technology now.
They're getting way better at it. Now, that being said, some parts of this trailer I didn't think looked finished. Like, there was this one shot of Rev 9, the evil Terminator, the T-1000 hybrid, when he's jumping off of the vehicle, and it does this like kind of camera turn with his face, and it looks a little uncanny valley. Now, I guess that kind of works because he's a Terminator, but it also kind of looks like unfinished CGI in my opinion.
think that's one of the biggest problems with the Terminator sequels is they are like, oh, well, now we can have the Terminators jump around, and now we can have the Terminators fight and punch each other through walls in a weird way.
And while they did some of that stuff in the original, it wasn't as
they were just really
fluid.
Well, one, it was a lot more practical effects. So when you make them CG, they move different.
That's true.
And so it feels different. And then the other thing is they didn't do giant things like that in T2. Like when you saw the Terminator fight the T-1000, they were just slamming each other into walls.
Yeah.
Like they weren't throwing each other through buildings.
It was more of an emphasis of just how physically strong they are, not how they can move.
They weren't superhuman movement. They were superhuman strength. And that's why whenever you see I remember when the T-800 fought that female Terminator in one of those sequels, they were like throwing each other through walls and stuff. And I'm like, that's not really what they did. They would stab each other and rip an arm off or something, but they weren't like throwing each other out of skyscrapers. Like it was an action movie that had a strong hero and villain in it. It wasn't superhero movie. And that's kind of what they did with some of those sequels. They got a little goofy there. I think they're bringing that back. Like him jumping off a semi-truck at a car is Terminator shit.
Yeah. But it does kind of give me some of those T-1000 vibes, though.
Yeah, that's what I'm saying. It's good T2 Terminator shit. It's not the weird...
And honestly, I thought the best action scenes in Terminator 2 were more like the big chase scenes in the vehicles.
It was the tension, not them doing ridiculous things. You know, it was the tension. And
I mean, like, when I think of awesome action scenes from Terminator, especially from Terminator 2, what I always think of is the big scene of the semi-truck chasing John and the T-800.
Jumping off the Harley and down in there.
Like, to me, that is the image that constantly pops in my mind when I think of that.
Or the steel factory.
Or the steel factory at the end. You know, the freezing the T-1000, the shooting him, the fight over the molten lava pit. Yeah. Like, all of that stuff. That is what I think of. Or even the big shootout with the police at Skynet.
They weren't jumping down off buildings and doing superhero landings.
No, they were not doing that.
He was just standing there getting shot, and then he pulled out a Gatling gun and blew away the cops. Because it was just manly shit. It was just awesome manly stuff. Because that's what James Cameron and Michael Bay understand the idea of some guns and some explosions. Like
James Cameron in particular, though, he has a knack for really making it look really classy. That's what I really like about him. Bay can pull off big, stupid, awesome explosions. Cameron can make it look really nice.
And believable.
And James Cameron is involved with this. He's not acting as director, but he is producer of the film.
To me, that doesn't mean much. I'll be honest.
He's there basically looks good enough. Give me my check.
Or he's like, I know.
When's my Avatar sequel coming out? Sequels.
He's got 3 of them bad boys coming out.
Don't even care.
Or is it 2 or 3? I forget.
I don't know. They said there's going to be up to 5, I think.
Well, he said the thing is he spent so much money developing the facial technology, to take the actors and then put their models into that movie. Yeah. He's like, it only makes sense to make a ton of money off this and make a few of them because we invested so much into making all that tech. So why not use it to make a bunch of movies with, And I get it. And believe me, Corey, you don't like Avatar all that much. But even you said it looked good, and if you think that one looked good, I'm sure this next one's going to look...
I'm sure it's going to look fantastic. It's probably going to be the next level of
CG.
But
here's the thing. They also don't need to do a cookie-cutter story now. They really
need to expand out and not do Fern Gully.
Yeah, they need to do something else. But they can now, because they've already established the world. So they could do something new. Now they could take blue people that plug into the Matrix. I don't know. I'm just fucking...
Oh, God. Well, another thing that actually I am kind of excited about this Terminator film is it's being directed by Tim Miller. He was the director of Deadpool. So the guy clearly knows action.
And I also heard he can make action look good for not much money. Because that's something the Deadpool 1 had to do a lot of. And they were very successful at. Because, they pull all the budget back and the big shootout was going to happen. And then all of a sudden Deadpool left all the guns in the taxi. Yeah. That was purely
Now, Tim
budget.
Miller is also the executive producer of Sonic the Hedgehog 2, so I also have my doubts.
Oh, man.
So it's
messed up there.
Yeah,
not everyone gets a clean record, Corey.
No, that's true. Also, I'm not a big fan of the title of the movie, Terminator Dark Fate. I don't know. To me, it seems kind of lazy.
I don't hate it, but I don't love it.
Yeah.
At least it's not like Salvation.
No, or Genesis, spelled with S-Y-S. Not a fan of when they do that. I'm never a fan of that weird
Terminator
spelling.
Reloaded.
I mean, T2 Judgment Day worked. It went along with an event that took place in the story, so calling it Judgment Day made sense. But I don't know. I mean, I'm not an expert at naming movies. I don't know what I could have called this. I will say that it's the first time I've genuinely been like kind of hyped about a Terminator movie coming out. A lot of it is because Linda Hamilton's coming back, James Cameron is on board, Arnold is here, and they could do something new with it. But at the end of the day, it's another Terminator movie of someone coming from the future and getting into big crazy car chases and action scenes.
As long as they don't make it more complex than it needs to be, it may work.
Yeah.
It's just when they get ridiculous with it, it won't work. It's interesting that they're abandoning all those other sequels.
Yeah.
I'm excited to see that.
Yeah, I mean, this could be a chance for a fresh start, and it's something that's kind of been a trend in Hollywood lately where they're like, well, the sequel sucked. Well, let's just make a sequel that doesn't suck. Let's pretend none of that shit ever happened.
Honestly, I'm okay with that, though.
Yeah.
Because as long as they hit the reset button and they do it right, then I'm okay with it.
Yeah. I mean, it can make some things maybe kind of confusing for the casual
audience. If they rebooted the whole DC universe besides the movies that work, I kind of be okay with it if they did it right.
Yeah, so basically keep Aquaman and Wonder Woman and everything else is gone.
Restart. Oh, what do you think of what's his name playing Batman?
Robert Pattinson?
Yeah.
And he was Cedric Diggory in Harry Potter, I think.
I'll be honest. I think he got a bad rap because he played the Twilight movies. But to his credit, even he hates those movies.
Yeah.
So
to his credit, even he hated it.
To be honest,
that's a selling point.
But that gives me a benefit of the doubt for him to say, "Hey, man, I'll give you a fresh start on this. It's easy to hate you on it, so I'm not going to hate you on it."
Now, has it been confirmed that he is?
No, I heard it's just in talks. But let's just pretend.
Okay. Let's just pretend we're in this alternate timeline where Robert Pattinson,
a young Batman,
is the Batman.
A young Batman.
I'm okay with it. And the only reason I'm okay with it is
first
because...
he needs a haircut to get a lot of that bush down.
I mean, the haircut doesn't even matter to me. I don't even care what Bruce Wayne looks like. It's Batman that has to look good. We've had so many people play Batman at this point, and if fucking Adam West can pull it off, even with a goofy way, anybody can do it. But also, this is the way it always happens when someone gets cast as this classic character. When Michael Keaton was cast to play him in the 80s, people were pissed off. They're like, Mr. Mom is going to be Batman? Beetlejuice is going to be Batman? How's that going to work? And Michael Keaton's one of my favorite Batmen. I even thought Val Kilmer did a pretty good job, and that movie sucked balls.
Yeah, it wasn't good. But it wasn't as bad as, what Batman. The Batman and Robin Batman. The Bat Nipples.
George Clooney.
Bat Nips.
Can't believe that was George Clooney.
He's a good actor, too.
He's a good actor.
I think that is honestly the script. Like, that movie
that script was
garbage.
Yeah.
But Robert Pattinson, I'm just going to put it out there. I'm going to give it a chance.
Oh, I'm totally going to give it a chance. I'm always willing to give these new actors a chance, especially because, like I said, this is just, the knee-jerk reaction to this type of thing every time. It's like when Heath Ledger was cast as the Joker.
Everyone hated it. Now they can't kiss that ass enough.
I know. Holy shit. Every time there's who's the best Joker, it's Heath Ledger or no one.
Because he's dead, so you have to give it to him or else you're an asshole.
And he's so fucking dark and perfect. Heath Ledger's an okay Joker, in my opinion. I think he was
a really good Joker.
I think he's a good Joker. I think he's a good caricature of the Joker.
But when people it's that character killed him, I'm like, no. He got addicted to opiates and he fucking overdosed in his room. Okay,
that's a conversation for another day entirely.
Let's just skim over that.
Yeah, but as far as Robert Pattinson, I mean, I am okay with it. I can't wait to see what they're going to do with this new movie. I'm more interested to see how it's going to tie into the overall DC universe, if it's going to be its own thing.
Yeah.
And most importantly, with superhero movies, what are the villains going to be?
Just not Catwoman.
Just not Catwoman. You don't want Catwoman?
I mean, maybe if she's like a side character that eventually sort of joins Batman at the end, but then they go their separate ways. Okay.
Like every other
Catwoman
Batman story?
Yeah, like that's cool. Maybe they could throw the Ninja Turtles in there.
Maybe they could. That's coming out soon. I don't know. This is one of those situations, like, do they reinvent another villain that we've seen before, or do we bring in someone new? Personally, I'm always wanting to see something new. I want to see Clayface, even though it's ridiculous and comic booky.
It really has to be done well, or else it'll look bad.
Yeah, I mean the CG on that's got to be perfect.
They did Sandman. They did Sandman with Spider-Man. It was pretty good.
Yeah, and that was back in 2007.
Yeah,
so
they
let's
could do it.
let's get Clayface up in here.
What about Croc guy? What's his name? The Croc dude.
The Croc. I mean, Killer Croc, who they fucked up in Suicide Squad. But the thing
about Killer Croc. A new one. A new one.
Oh, we need a new Killer Croc altogether. The thing is, Killer Croc, I don't think is the type of villain that can carry a movie on his own. To me, Killer Croc has to be kind of like the hired muscle of a main villain.
like a Joker with a Killer Croc accessory.
Yeah, but I want to see obscure villains, though. Like I said, I want to see Clayface. You know, if I were to make this Batman movie, I would make the villain either Black Mask, who's basically just a gangster who wears a black skull mask and is kind of insane and crazy.
Okay.
And I would have Killer Croc be like his hired muscle. 2 villains, one that really matters, one that's there just to look cool. And one that I always bring up and everybody's like, Corey, that's a stupid Batman villain, is the fucking ventriloquist. Do you even know who that is?
Is he kind of like Scarecrow? He's more of a mental fuck you up?
No, he's literally a dude who has a dummy who's dressed as a 1930s gangster named Scarface. And he has like a split personality. And it's so outlandish and strange. He even appears like in the Arkham games and stuff.
Okay.
And it's a really weird, obscure Batman villain. But again, have him as the main villain, someone really weird and outlandish, have Killer Croc as his goon, bring in Clayface. They've already... I think they could do Scarecrow again and make him better.
No superhuman people. Like, I think what you're saying, maybe keep it a little more grounded with the more like just psycho people.
But that's the thing, if we do Clayface, that's a superhuman as it
that's
gets.
sort of superhuman, yeah.
He's
I
a
guess
giant
right.
transforming man made of mud.
Okay, the Mud Man.
Yeah, like I said, but I want them to kind of go all out if they can in any direction. But
I don't know. We'll see. Just get me Robert Pattinson and make him not suck, and then we'll take it from there.
Pretty much,
Maybe he doesn't have a big villain. Maybe it's just him figuring out how to be Batman.
We've seen that story so many times, though.
Maybe we see his parents get killed again.
How's the director going to make those pearls hitting the ground look this time?
Is it slow motion or is it super slow motion or is it the pearls hitting the ground a metaphor? When we zoom out of Batman's eye, we see he's actually thinking about them.
You could almost hear Zack Snyder jacking off as he was editing that scene of the pearls hitting the ground in Batman versus Superman.
We got Negan.
Oh, God, 3 of them hit the ground in that one shot. I loved it. Anywho. Guys, we're going to go ahead and wrap it up. But thank you guys for tuning in for another episode of the Powerful Nerdcast. Like we said, we just started the brand new channel, so make sure to stay tuned for that. For tons of new material, this weekly podcast. And if you want to support us, please check out our Patreon page. You can find a link to that in the description box below.
I'm jumping in. Also, if you want to support us but you don't want to just directly donate us money, use our Amazon link, because that way everything you buy on Amazon we get a percentage of, and it doesn't raise the price. It just helps us out. And we also have another way to donate, which is PayPal. So use any of those. A
lot of easy ways. Like we said, a little bit goes a long way.
Yeah, thank you guys for all the support. Thank you for helping us through our transition and giving us a lot of encouragement. Look forward to new stuff. And if anything, it's more of the same, but just with a new name, but with a higher quality. Yeah, so not that different. We just wanted to be honest with you about where we were at with things. So, and hopefully this is the last time we talk about channel rebranding for a long time. So don't think that's going to be the topic that we always talk about.
Yeah.
So anything else, Corey?
That's it, man.
Awesome, guys. Well, until next time, peace out.